Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Roundtable. We're having the sex talk. One of the things that we're noticed that started to come to the forefront just because of the proliferation of media right now is what they're terming the rape culture. Now, in the beginning, this is something that they've always put on the shoulders, if you ask me, on women. How you dress, how you carry yourself, the vibe you give off. And now I think society is finally starting to turn around and say to the young men, wait a minute, perhaps it is the way that you're approaching, the way you're looking at the situation. And I believe that perhaps the indoctrination of that starts with the sex talk. Or we're talking to the young men as much as we're talking to the young women about the importance of, as Ms. Quinn stated, respecting your body. Is this something that should be included with the sex talk?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that it has been avoided like the Black Plague in this country. And not even just in this country. I think in general around the world, women have been viewed less than men and devalued in a sense. I just think about the whole college experience, you know, the fraternity experience where it was, you know, whatever young lady that they wanted, they could have regardless of how she felt about the situation. Even in high school, all the jocks, it was just, if this was what they wanted to do, it wasn't as bad as if they did something else. So I think that culturally we need to change. And so it's not just a conversation with our children, but more so a change of mindset within our culture that women are not valued less than men, and that people need to educate their children very early on that you don't touch what's not yours, for one thing, and no means no on all levels.
And I think it starts even before you get to the sex, the act itself. I just think about the ways that some young men, I guess the millennials, address women, the B word, and it's automatic. And women referring to themselves that way, like it's okay. It's not cool to be a young lady. I have to be a B word. I'm a bad, It starts there because it's not okay. It doesn't matter what you hear in a song or see on TV. It's not okay. And somewhere that line has to be drawn. Because if we start that sex talk early, as we mentioned, then I think that has to be part of it for the young men, as we talked about. And you're right, action has to be taken.
I want to talk to the men on the panel right now. We're all three fathers of young men, and I think as parents, as Ms. Quinn pointed out, that not touching what doesn't belong to you, hey, keep your hand off of that. And now we're referring to objects. How much of this psychologically are we focusing on when we talk to our young men? Just in all honesty, I would think that it would just be passed down to him, that I wouldn't have to say it. But you know what happens when they say it goes without saying, but then it doesn't get said, and then later on, someone can say, well, no one ever said that, And are we saying, hey, listen, there is no excuse for when the young lady says no? Are we drilling this deep enough into the conscious mind of the young men so that they have a firm grasp to know beyond right from wrong that this is horrible, this is egregious, this is beyond offensive?
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of feeling like this goes without saying. I mean, the word rape has probably never exited my mouth around my sons. And just sitting here listening to you as you brought it up, I'm almost shocked at how negligent I may have been when it comes to this. But that's what this is for, And once again, sometimes the hardest conversations to have are the ones most worth having. So I'm gonna do my diligence on this, and I'm gonna start with me and see what I can do as a father of 5 sons.
Mr. Brown.
Like Mr. Barcliffe, I'm guilty of it. I haven't really had that conversation with my son. You know, it's something that we should have, but you would think that your son would have some sort more sense to respect a woman. First by example from me, of course, and by also what I teach him. But without, you know, that even being a topic that I speak to him about, I think it really needs to be addressed. I'm sitting here thinking that, just like you, that this is something that I really need to take serious because it is prevalent, and they will hear about it. So I think that is something that I need to put on that list of things to talk about.
And I want to say this quickly, that once again, the gender gap, it arises and it shows its face here because when it comes to my daughter, I felt like I would use the word rape and I would warn her about some of that and some of the warning signs. When I was younger, one of my sisters was raped. And I remember how distraught my dad was over it, and I even remember how I felt about it. And you know, I was in an environment where, you know, we felt like retribution was in order, and there was even discussion about doing something about it and taking the law into our own hands. But he never said anything to me about it, but he did speak to his daughters about that. I'm really glad that this was brought up because I'm going to speak to the female and the male child about this.
And just for the audience, as you can see, you're dealing with a panel of at least 5 intelligent people, 3 intelligent men, all saying this is probably what's going on in our nation. It's not that we're not aware of it, it's when it goes without saying, it goes unsaid. And that's what the Roundtable is. So we hope you thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you tune in. Tell your friends, tell your family. Here's a couple of ways you can follow. Thank you. This has been another edition of Roundtable. We'll see you next time. I just tell them, don't get in the water.
Thank you.